Wow, finally it came in. It took a while for this to come in. So this is a replacement for my pool and spa area. This is a Intermatic dual time clock panel rated for outside. It's a T30401R, R meaning rain tight. Let's go over this real quick. So I already had it open, guys, to be honest with you. So just wanted to make sure I was giving you proper information. Panel comes out, obviously the dead front. This is considered a dead front because it's actually bolted in, screwed in. That's considered a dead front. So we take that off and we look inside. We can see the two mounting hardware pieces. The reason it doesn't come on, there's two reasons. One, it could get dented in shipping, but the most important part is so they can paint the surface. So that way two surfaces, there's no unexposed metal that could corrode. Now, my original one went for over 20 years, and it took about a few weeks for this to come in. I did buy this on Amazon. I'll leave a link to the description, but I want to go over real quick a couple of features. Let's talk real quick about the two time clocks it comes with. If you notice, one has 5 terminals, another one has 3 terminals. This one is rated at 240 volt, this one is rated at 120 volt. You cannot combine it. The motor behind here is rated at 208, 240 volt. The motor behind this one's rated at 120. Let's go take a look at it. Let's look at the 120 to make it a little bit easier to just explain. Simple came out. All I did was just push in on this, and the time clock part will come right out. And if we look at it, we can see it comes pre-wired from the factory. And we turn it over, we can see it's rated at 125 volts.
I see.
Motor.
Yep.
There's also just a single pole contactor. So this is a single pole, single throw. So as I turn it on or off, you can see here how this moves and opens up. So that's open, off, and then closed, on.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
You control that by these little thumb screws. They're 2 different colors. One says off and one says on. So you can select whatever time. Now to select the time of day, you pull up and you just turn it. So we're about 1 p.m. here in New Jersey. I'll just drop that down for now. Now the most important thing, and some of the mistakes I know a lot of apprentices and beginning guys do, is they fail to recognize which one is 110 and 240. And they'll wire it wrong, and when it's in the off position, they actually are taking power away from the clock and it just stops. You want to make sure that you have continuous power all the time. So a single pole breaker will feed right here. I'll have my neutral and I'll have my hot. So no matter what position this is in, that motor continually runs.
Okay.
Now the load, I would use the same neutral. So if this was going to be for my pool pump, I'd have my neutral, and then I'd have the output of the pool pump right there. So boom, time for the pump to go on, it's on. Time to go off, it's off. But yet there's constant power here. Now, if we compare this one to this one, you can see how easy it is to take it off. You just push this little button here, and then it'll come right out. Now, if we look at this one, we can see how the wires are different. Now, it's the same frame, they just didn't have the extras on it. So this is a double pole, double throw, meaning it's 2 individual poles. So this is rated for 240 and 208 volt. So L1 and L2. So that means this one requires a 2-pole breaker. That's going to be on all the time. Turn the breaker on. There is no neutral. This is not used. So L1 and L2, and then the output is here. L1 and L2, or T1 and T2 is right there. So if we look at the back, we can see it has 2 throws.
Got it.
Right?
Nice.
Close, open. And this one is rated at 120/277, and that's where a lot of the mistakes come in. Guys will come and wire it. They'll make it either both 110 or they're both 240, and it won't work that way. So make sure when you order these that you pick the right time clock, the right loads. So here's what I'm going to do.
What's the plan?
The plan is I'm going to use this 240 volt one for my pool pump. And I have a small solar kit that I just made for the pool area. It's very small, only has a 50 amp hour battery, but I can get a few hours load of that before that battery depletes. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this one for my pool pump. I'll put a 2-pole breaker, feed that one. And this one I'm going to use for my solar output. I'm going to take the output of my little solar power box, and that's going to be my neutral and my hot, because I'm only using 110 on that box. And then that way, when I want the load to go on, I'll just have it set for maybe an hour or two, because I don't want the battery to go to zero, but yet I want to give enough time for the sun to recharge that battery.
Yeah.
So this is a fantastic solution for that.
Yeah, it's a nice kit.
And lastly, I don't know if we discussed it, was, you know, when I purchased this, I mean, even now, even though I had one for 20 years, it didn't have this detailed of a panel label on it, or it kind of weathered away. And I was curious on what circuit breakers are legally allowed in here. Because, you know, you'll fail if you put like Square D Homeline and Siemens and GE Cutler Hammer. And as long as it's listed for use, you can use it. And here it is. Suitable listed circuit breakers. Man, that word listed is huge in the electrical industry. Electrical inspectors, man, if they see that, they're good. So it looks like you can put Cutler Hammer, Murray, Siemens, Square D, GE. Look, Homeline, THQL, QP, QT, BR breakers, BRD breakers.
That's awesome.
Different type of GFCI. Tells you the filler plate you can use. So if you're using all Cutler Hammer, and gives you all the different knockouts.
I think you can use tandems too. I saw.
I think you can use tandems. I'm not sure if you can or not, but you really crowd this up quick.
Look, twin. Yeah, look, tandem.
Okay.
Yeah.
But you'll really crowd this up, so it's important that you wire this very neatly. You can see it's got knockouts here. Look at the knockouts here, P. Coming from the back like that.
That's nice.
You rarely see that.
You even got knockouts in the bottom here.
Well, that's the most important ones.
Yeah,
the
right
ones
here.
at the bottom, right? Because
That's
this is only rated at 100 amp. It's not 125 amp. Most 100 amp panels are rated at 125. This one's rated at 100. So we've got our two hots. Look how long that screw is. Look how deep that is. I've never seen that.
This is good quality.
Look how deep that terminal is. Wonder why it's so deep like that.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Look how long that screw is.
Maybe it's ready for 100 amp.
Well, it is, but it's like good. Looks like you could put a lot of wires under there. But anyway, this is my L1, L2 from the house. Here's my neutral, and then this is a sub panel. So that means what, Chris?
Separate the grounds and the neutrals.
Exactly. And what is this, Chris?
That's the ground bar.
And this is
neutral bar.
And this is
hots.
Excellent, my friend. And this is
those are the bus.
Aluminum bus.
Aluminum bus.
And then we have two timers. Now you can buy this can with nothing in it, just the actual bus bar here, and you can pick and choose whatever you want. You can buy these off the shelf. You can go to Home Depot and pick out a T30401 or whatever Intermatic time clock you want will fit right in here. And this, like I said, this just goes right in, sits in, and just that's it.
Yeah, it's a nice piece of equipment.
Right,
how much if someone wanted to buy this, and where can they buy it?
You can buy this on Amazon. You can buy this pretty much in any electrical supply house. I don't know if you can get these in Home Depot. You can maybe order it. I got this on Amazon. This is just shy of $400.
Okay.
But again, this is a 20-year panel.
Yeah.
The one I'm replacing is 20 years.
Yeah.
Now you want to make sure you get GFCI rated breakers, and do not make the mistake and get the integrated neutral circuit breaker. It's not listed for that. This does not have the spot where you can, that the neutral is here. You ever see the new ones?
Yeah, yeah.
Where you put them
it's
in
just a breaker. And
right, so that you're going to need
the pigtail.
Exactly. So those pigtails get really big and fat, right? And they take a lot of space. So it's important that you dress the wires neatly. This is not a lot of room if you think about it. This can fill up really fast.
Yeah. Well, yeah, this looks awesome.
Yep.
Thanks for sharing.
Yeah.
Let's get this installed.
All right, man. Let's go.